French is not an easy language to pronounce, and there is a sound which is often brought up along with the French R, the R, which indeed, I will not deny it, is not an easy sound to pronounce. But there is also a vowel which often puzzles and constitutes an obstacle to learners. It's the French U, which is also a sound that you will find in German. So this can help you as well for German. So the U. And what I want to argue here is that this is not an actually difficult sound. And you already have all the tools necessary to pronounce it. It's all a matter of habit. As for the R, this is something that your tongue is not used to. It's the same with the Spanish R, which I still struggle to pronounce. I still can't make it. This is something that will require some flexibility for your tongue and to do something that it's not used to doing. But as for the vowels, all you have to do is to really understand the parameters, the way that the vowels work, and just do something that you are not used to, but that doesn't require any special effort, really. That's what I want to argue. So it's the French U, but I will also bring up the E and the E, which are the same sounds but just a bit more open. So this is the paint that I made some time ago and that I used in my previous videos. So this is the number 3 of my playlist on French pronunciation. And this time I've just added this the schwa, the I will bring up why in the end of this video. So what I want to focus here on this video, it's these 3 vowels here: U, E, and E. So I will give you a reminder on how vowels work. You can also watch my previous video, which was really about this, which was really an overview. So there are 3 parameters here. We are not going to discuss nasal vowels. It's not our focus in here. Oops, sorry. Up, up, and up. These doesn't matter. Don't matter. So there are 3 parameters that really matter here. It's the frontness or backness of the vowel, the highness or openness of your vowel, and the roundness. So the highness or the openness of your vowel, it's about whether your tongue is at the bottom of your mouth, and it typically implies your lips to be quite open or to be quite close. So for an extreme, this sound, it's E. If you do E, your tongue will be really high in your mouth, and your lips will be close to each other. E. And reversely, if you do A, then your tongue will necessarily be at the bottom of your mouth, and your mouth will be quite open. So you will struggle to make an A with the lips close to each other. Or. You can't really do that. And it's a bit awkward as well to do an E with the mouth wide open. E. It forces your tongue to still be atop your mouth. So you do something like E. It's really awkward. Normally you do E, A. So mouth open and tongue at the bottom, or mouth closed and tongue almost touching your palate. So that's highness. Then there is backness. So this is just about if your tongue is more at the front of your mouth or at the bottom of your mouth or at the back of your mouth. So in English there are also these sounds oo, o, o. It's not the exact same as in French, but it's almost the same. So these are back and round. So you do O. When you say O, your tongue is a bit, if you pay attention, it's not easy, but if you pay attention, your tongue is necessarily at the back of your mouth. That being said, if you don't fully understand back and front, it's not that big of a deal, because what really matters is to understand roundness. So roundness, it's actually the simplest of all them, because the tongue is in your mouth and you can't really see it, but your lips, you can see them. You have a very good idea of what your lips are doing. So a round vowel is the vowel where your lips make a circle, as if you were making a duck face. Oh, oh my god. You necessarily have to make a circle with your lips. And the opposite is an unround vowel. Your lips are not making a circle. I like to say that they are flat. I like to call them flat vowels, but they are more typically called unround vowels. So e. When you say e, a, e, your mouth, your lips, they are not making a circle. You can say that you can make a smile typically. E. So what you have to master in order to master these three sounds is simply to pronounce these front vowels, e, a. I will not focus here on the exact distinction between e and a. It's not our matter of discussion here. So if your distinction is not perfect, it's not a problem, because what I really want to focus on in this video is really the roundness. So try to make them at least e and a. And then what you will have to do is to round your lips. So in order to do that, the best and most direct exercise is simply to make an E, and then you will force yourself into freezing. So you say E, and then you freeze like this. It's like you're in a video call and you freeze. But this time you are freezing yourself. You do that on purpose because you want your boss to kick you out or something, and so you pretend to be frozen, and so you do E. Unfortunately, my mic cannot. My mic will betray me because my mic changes color in the meantime. So you see, I freeze myself. So that means everything in my mouth is frozen. So it doesn't really matter if your eyes are frozen. So you have to force yourself into keeping your tongue in the exact same spot. That's the thing that I want you to focus on. So E. And then try to pay attention to where your tongue is and to the fact that you don't move it. And one thing that can help is for you to have your tongue touching your teeth, because that way you will really have a good idea of where your tongue is. So you can touch either the bottom teeth or the top teeth. E. And then all you have to do is to round your lips without moving your tongue. So I will repeat, and it's really what you have to do to keep your tongue in the same place, same spot or same place. That's why I say placed all the time. To keep your tongue in the same spot while you round your lips. E. E. And this time I have say E. I even tried to make an E, and it actually makes me pronounce an U. If you say an E and your lips are round, then it should be an U. That's what the U is about. It's just that. So it's not that easy because your tongue and your mouth are not used to it, but you have to force yourself into making it, and it takes some exercise. But it doesn't require some extra effort. It's not like you have to move your tongue or something. You just have to do something you are used to. You have to round your lips. So you are not used to it to doing it, but you don't have to train any muscle, really. So E, U. And then, so that was E, U. And then I use the bigger so you can see more. And then you do the same with these. E, E, Now, I will focus on these last two ones, because the good thing with these ones is that since they are more open, you can see my mouth better. So, you can see that I try to keep my tongue in the same place. I try not to move it at all. And what I want you to pay attention to is my tongue keeping in the same place while my lips are getting round, making a circle. And it's really what you have to do to make the It's all you have to do is just to keep your tongue in the same place. I'm really repeating myself, but it's when you really fully understand this, you would be able to pronounce all of these French vowels. The nasal vowels, it's another thing. It's a little more complicated, but with this, you can pronounce perfectly all the non-nasal vowels. So, e, 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 e. And now I will just repeat all of them. I, U, E, 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 E. So lastly, I will give you something like 3 remarks on how to pronounce the sounds and on some exercises that you can make. So one of them is to study, to try to practice the distinction between U and U, because this is something that non-native speakers will often struggle with. In particular, English native speakers. They often struggle with this distinction. And I think that the U in English might not be the exact same one or something, but somehow, for some reason, the English speakers, they all also struggle with this one. So this one is just the same as O, but it's more high. Your tongue is really almost touching your palate, but in the back of your mouth. So, O, U, U. It's basically the same as a W sound, W, but it's not a consonant, it's a vowel. So it's like you do the W, W, and before you say like what, you try to say what. So practice this one. Ooh, ooh. And then you will try to pronounce both U and OU. For instance, you can try this word in French. Cousu. Cousu. This is an S, but it makes the sound the. This is the past participle of the word of the verb coudre, which means to. I'm not entirely sure, but it's something. It's like you use a like chopstick or something, and you make a clothes with it, like this. Knitting, I think it's called. But I know that there are several words for it, but I always mix them up because it depends on if you use your fingers or if you use chopsticks or so. But anyway, so cousu. You have to pay attention to what your tongue is doing and to the fact that your tongue will be getting front. So with this exercise, you work on the roundness because you have to keep it round all the time. But the real focus of this exercise is the back front distinction. So cousu. If you pay attention to what your mouth is doing, you will notice that your tongue, it's a cou, so that's something like here, and then it's a zu. The z sound is pronounced somewhere here. It's alveolar, and so your tongue will be forced to going a bit front. Cousu, and the vowel will be pronounced in the same spot. What I like with this word is that this consonant, it kind of likes to be pronounced with an U, with a back vowel, because this consonant is pronounced in the back of your mouth. And these consonants, since it's pronounced in the front of your mouth, it kind of likes being pronounced with a front vowel. So, cousu. Because I could also say something like cu su. Okay, that doesn't mean anything. It's a bit stupid, but if you say cu su, your tongue will do something a bit more complex. Q, your tongue will be pronouncing the k in the back of your mouth, but also the u in the front, and same with the su, reversely. Ku su. But I like cousu because it's easier. Cousu. Now, to keep working on this, I mentioned the w. There is this in French, like in the words oui, non. But we also have this in French, oui. So that's not the vowel U, but it's basically the same. It's the vowel U, but pronounced as a consonant. this is a consonant that you found a lot of in Chinese, but in French it's only with the e and sometimes with the e. So yue, yue. So it's the same as a ye. Yes, ye, yes, but with the lips round. Yue, yue, yui, yui. And so what I want you to work on is first to say we, and if you can say the English we, which is basically the same pronunciation. There might be a subtle nuance, but it's mostly the same. We. And if you pay attention, you will notice that you are forced into moving your tongue in the front of your mouth. We. It's not easy because it's inside your mouth, but if you pay attention, your tongue is moving. We. I try to open my mouth as much as I can to open the vowels, and maybe you can see it. Oui. So, what I want you to do is to say oui, then you keep your tongue in the same spot. You freeze once again, and then you say oui again. And if you do it correctly, then it will make a oui. So you say oui, then you freeze, and then you say you try to say oui again. Oui. And if you do that, you will realize that this is actually an easier syllable, in fact. So you are not used to making the U, so the U is harder, but in this case, it's kind of easier to say oui, because you have to move less. You just have to move your lips. Oui. When you say these two vowels together, all that happens is that your mouth, your lips, they are making a smile, so to speak. They are unrounding. Oui. And your tongue keeps in the same spot. So that's an exercise you can work on. And the last thing you can work on is to pronounce the following English phrase with a French accent. A certain bird. So these vowels are mostly similar to the schwa. This is typically a schwa. So that's the schwa is it's a very linguist concept, and it's a very satisfying idea. So it's I think linguists like the schwa because there is something curious and interesting about it. So it's a vowel which is at the center of everything. It's a vowel which is neither high or low, neither front or back. It's when you try to have your tongue doing nothing. You are not trying to make a front vowel, not a back vowel, not even a round vowel or unround vowel. You just let it loose and say like this, and it's what you get in the a, the indefinite article in English, but it's also what you get with unstressed syllables in English. Not exactly, but in English, the unstressed vowels tend to be schwaified. They are similar to a schwa. Like if you say impossible, the stress fall on this vowel, so impossible. So you can't say impossible. That is I think that is weird. Impossible with an O, but then the other ones, they are similar to a schwa. Impossible. If you pay attention, you could say impossible, and you could try to make it the e as in ship, but you tend to make something more like an impossible, like a schwa. So what I want you to do is to take this schwa and then to make them this instead. So instead of saying a certain bird, try to make it with a French accent and say a certain bird. A certain bird. A certain bird. By the way, this, I think it's supposed to be this, which is a vowel that French speakers will really struggle with. It's at least me. I really struggled with this vowel. I really don't understand it. So when I say this word, I tend to say something which is close to this. Bird. It's more like this to me. So a certain bird. And so you work with this. You take this schwa and you do this. And the good thing with the schwa in this exercise is that the schwa is kind of close to it actually, because it's very central and neutral. It's okay to make a schwa and make it quite round. Uh, it's not exactly round, but you can round it, and it's okay. And similarly, you can make it front because it's not fully back. It's neither back nor front. So since it is very close to this one, you just have to make a little work to go from here to here. And so this is a good exercise to make in order to use yourself into making these round vowels. U, E, a certain bird. And also oui, huit, huit. And a last note to conclude. If you pay attention to Belgian people, you will realize that they don't say huit, they say huit with an U. For some reason, they decided that this was too difficult to pronounce, and they decided to say huit. That's a little interesting fact. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I wrote a certain bird, but you couldn't see because I was sorry, I wrote it here, but there was my face atop it. You forgot that. So anyway, I hope this video helped, and I hope you are going to be able to pronounce U, E, better with these explanation and exercises. So see you.